Yo! Ooh, that might be a little too loud. My bad. What's up? It's your boy, Xanda. I'm trying to do like a hero Amanokawa bound type thing. I'm trying to do like a inspired outfit. This is the only red sweater I own. I mean, I know I have this back here, but that's not it. And this is a Power Ranger sweater. I don't think that would have worked too well. This is as good as it's gonna get. I'm wearing the goddamn battle brace. Whatever. Anyway. Let's talk about Digimon Ghost Game. This is a show that I have been enjoying a lot over the past year. Just recently celebrated its 1 year anniversary, and I'm really happy about that. And I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like when it comes to anime like this kind of gets like shuffled into the wayside and stuff like that, because you have your people that watch your seasonal animes, and if an anime goes any longer than like 2 core, people just forget that it even exists. And this is way past 24 episodes, so I just wanted to kind of come and just, make a little spooky video talking about, honestly, one of my favorite seasons of the Digimon anime thus far. I have skipped some, but of all the ones that I've seen, Ghost Game's definitely up there with some of my favorite seasons ever. It's very episodic, and I know a lot of people are very upset about that. They want more. I want more as well, don't get me wrong, but I still just like the characters, the world that they're building, and I do feel like this is all going to build up to something. But even if it doesn't, I'm just really enjoying it. I just love these new characters. I love the way they're doing everything. I just love it. So what I want to do, since it is spooky season, since it is about that time, I wanted to, like I said, do a video just talking about Ghost Game. For those of you that haven't watched it yet, that are still on the fence or waiting for the dub or whatever, or just people that are like passingly interested in what the hell this show is about, because I'm pretty sure you know what Digimon is, and if you're watching this video and you're watching my channel, then you definitely probably know what Digimon is. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And if you're liking this video so far, leave a like on the video and check out my other channels. Well, I do have another channel, but also check out the other videos on this channel. Digimon Ghost Game is the newest Digimon anime, started airing last year around October, and it is a horror-inspired season of the anime. It's just kind of like interesting that they went that route. I don't know what inspired them to do that, but I love it. I'm here for it. It's like you get a little mini horror-inspired, almost Goosebumps-esque episode every week, but with Digimon involved. And they have paid homage to many different genres of horror, whether it be body horror, slashers. A lot of episodes lately have been body horror, but there were like a lot of slasher-inspired episodes. There have been like episodes inspired by like, monster, creature features and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun. So one of the things that I wanted to really talk about are just like 3 of like some of my favorite episodes so far in the series that just kind of show how weird and creepy this show gets for a Digimon show. One, I mean, Tamers got really creepy in some points. All the seasons have gotten dark and weird at some points, but this one is like, it's just kind of special, in my opinion. So first things first, we're gonna go and let you guys know this obviously is gonna have spoilers for the show, and they're gonna be from like pretty big to like small, but just know that like if you haven't watched the show yet, you might want to watch the show, or hopefully this will convince you to start watching the show, because it is going to be ending soon, I guess. We don't know for sure yet, but I feel like that's where we're going. I don't think it's going to go any further than like 65 episodes, give or take, which is a lot, so you might as well start watching now so you can kind of catch up. So let's talk about one of the first kind of big moments in the show, and that is the death of Bokomon. So Bokomon shows back up. Super cute to see him again. He's so adorable. He's as adorable as he was in Frontier, and he's kind of like a Digimon professor. He's the first person, well, really the first character to really teach the kids about Digimon, like what they are, how they work. The thing about Digimon Ghost Game is that it takes place in the far future. We don't know how far in the future, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, it's 20XX. We have 7G on our phones now. Who knows how along that is. And in the future, holograms are extremely commonly used everywhere for like everything. And so there's been a most recent occurrence where certain holograms will start doing ghost-like behavior, I guess is the best way to put it. And they call these things hologram ghosts. These hologram ghosts are actually Digimon who have crossed over into our world and have been able to manifest as just holograms so far. So they look ghost-like, and there's some of them are doing creepy stuff that are scaring people, and some of them are actively malicious. So a lot of the initial episodes of the show, a lot of the Digimon aren't exactly malicious. Like they have like a creepy atmosphere to them, and some of them are doing some pretty fucked up shit, but like none of them are actively trying to kill anyone until a bit later, when we start to see that, you know, the digital world is not as safe as we think it is, and all the Digimon that are coming over are not as friendly as we would like them to. And I think the episode of Bokomon is one of the biggest examples. So Bokomon gets murdered pretty much by Sealsdramon. Sealsdramon shows up and is just like killing Digimon left and right just because it can. Like, it's not even doing it on orders, which is usually how D Brigade members act. Sealsdramon is a member of the D Brigade. No, it's just killing people, and it's like has a kill count in its head, and it's just trying to keep as many kills as possible. It's really messed up, and it's eventually kills Bokomon. That death was so shocking to Gamamon that he actually Dark Digivolves. I believe this is the first time he actually Dark Digivolves, and we see Gulus Gamamon. Gulus Gamamon is Gamamon's Dark Evolution. There's something about Gulus Gamamon, though, that we really haven't found out yet, and that is what he is. Because when he's Gulus Gamamon, he has a completely different personality, and it seems like he has a completely different memory compared to Gamamon. Gamamon's really sweet, he's nice, and he doesn't really remember much about his past. Whereas when he's Gulus Gamamon, he is super brooding, he's very dark, and he seems like he knows more than what he's telling us. And then Gamamon has zero recollection of Bokomon dying or even him killing Sealsdramon, which is kind of nuts. It's like, it was like a shocking moment. A lot of people were like, whoa, like, this is weird, like, this is crazy. Some more tame moments in the show so far, but it did set the stage for like what is gonna be coming later. I'm gonna change out of this. I'm sorry. I'm getting real hot. It's okay. Ooh. Alright. I have backup on hand. It's not Digimon related, but it is spooky. Because it is Spookymon. That feels a lot more comfortable. I should have done that way earlier. Anyway. Okay. New drip. Creep Show. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. Let's talk about creepy moment number 2. The episode with my baby girl, Arukenimon. Not that mode, that mode. She's fine. Anyway, this is a creepy episode. For a while, after the whole Sealsdramon thing, I don't really remember there being any crazy, like anything too crazy in Ghost Game. Stayed pretty episodic for a while. They started to get a little bit more malicious, but like it wasn't anything crazy like Digimon straight up trying to just kill people because. That's when we get to this episode. So Arukenimon shows back up. It was really cool. She's in her human form. It's actually the same voice actor that voiced her back in 02, which was a really cool like little Easter egg and reference. She shows up and talks to Hiro. She says that she's a friend of his mom's, tells him that she wants to go show him this new science center that just opened. It's like a museum that's under construction, and some construction workers have been going missing. Some scientists have also been going missing. It's always a cold open for every episode, and a lot of the cold opens, it'll be like something creepy, you know, it'll just be like, oh my goodness, I'm walking around. What the hell is that? And it'll be like, you know, the Digimon will show up. Or it'll give you a hint of what Digimon is going to be for the episode. And then the guy will go, a guy or a girl. It's or even sometimes a kid that's like, oh my god. And then like, you know, they'll either like attack them or jump at the camera or do something. You know, the person will go missing or something like that. You know, that was the formula for a while. I mean, it's still the formula. But still, like, in this opening, it's a couple scientists, they're caught in the web, and they just vor. That's how it opens, and it's like, that's kind of weird. I don't think they'd actually kill anyone, though. There's no one's died yet in Ghost Game. There hasn't been any human casualties, at least I don't think there has been. That was my theory. That was my thought. That's what I was thinking. And then we get to the episode. So, like I said, she invites Hiro. He invites his friends, obviously, because, like, why not? Let's go to the museum for free. I'd do the same thing. Anyway, she seems to be very interested in anyone that's smart. She mentions that, I think she says something offhand like, smart people brains taste better. And then it was just like, what? And so she turns into Arukenimon, like her actual form, and then a bunch of Dokugomon show up, and they're all running for their lives and stuff like that. But at one point, you see a bunch of bodies, is the best way I can put it, in her web, and none of them are moving. That Arukenimon has killed at least people that we know of. So Arukenimon's about to kill Hiro and everyone. She's gonna straight up just eat them, eat their brains specifically, until Gamamon Dark Digivolves. Pretty sure this is actually the second time he did it in the series. Kind of weird that I picked these two back to back. Anyway, as Gulus Gamamon, he tells Arukenimon, hey, if you're so hungry, why don't you have a bite of a fucking knuckle sandwich? He fucking drives his fist into her mouth and then does his move, which is called Desdemona, which is this giant, like, fireball Kamehameha wave, and just annihilates her. It is the most metal moment I have seen at a Digimon show in, like, a while. I think ever. This is fucking metal as fuck. This part is so goddamn cool. And then she just dies. He kills her. She's dead. But not only that, but, like, they don't, like, save anyone. You don't see anyone after the episode that's like, oh my god, thank you for saving me. Like, they're dead. Like, Arukenimon straight up just fucking murdered, like, mad people and was gonna eat Hiro in them. And it's a really, like, creepy episode because it's like, wow, like, we almost got lured into a trap and died. Like, the only reason we're alive is because Gulus Gamamon showed up. Like, if Gulus Gamamon didn't show up, they would have been dead. But that's not as crazy as the last one. So, for my final pick, I wanted to pick, I think, the episode that has stuck with me the most out of any Ghost Game episode so far. This episode, I can recall, like, with absolute certainty. I know exactly what happened in this episode. I have been thinking about it since I watched it. This episode has just shook me to my core. It's a really good episode. It's really, really creepy, and this is really, really why, personally, I like this season a lot. It's because of episodes like this one. It's the Digitamanamon episode. My posture. That's how my posture is supposed to be, instead of like a gremlin like I normally stand. Anyway, the episode that I wanted to touch on to really kind of like hopefully cement the fact that, like, one, this is a good season of Digimon, and two, this is just a good show you should be watching if you can, which you can. It's on Crunchyroll. Like, go watch it. But anyway, one of the reasons why I really like this season is this episode right here. I think about this episode constantly, and I mean literally, like, constantly I'm thinking about this episode because it's easily one of the darkest episodes they have done. And even when this episode aired, there was a lot of dark moments that happened. I've only mentioned 3. One from really early in the season, and these 2 from, like, somewhat in the middle. But there's still episodes that, like, are pretty grim and, like, messed up that I haven't really touched on. And I'm just picking 3 of my favorites. And again, this is up there. Even I think after the show is going to be done, I still think it's going to be up there as one of the scariest episodes and just one of the more grim. Digitamanamon shows up. If you don't know, I'm a really big fan of the Trashmon, and I really like Digitamanamon. And this was an episode. So it starts off, again, you got our cold open. It's 2 people. They hear something rummaging around in their fridge. They go down to see what's going on. It's Digitamamon. They're like, oh, wow, what's that? Digitamamon then grabs one of the dudes with his hands and then swallows it and turns it into sand. The woman is now screaming, and then he lunges towards her. End of the cold open. We go to the main episode. So we find out that Digitamamon is actually Angoromon's friend. They actually knew each other back in the digital world. They were like purveyors of knowledge. He's one of the reasons why Angoromon knows as much as he does, because both of them would constantly just go exploring in the digital world to find out different Digimon, what they like, what they dislike, and stuff like that. And they got themselves into a lot of trouble. So I cannot remember why, but there's rumors about this spooky old house. It's abandoned now. The owners have went missing, and no one really knows what happened. I want to preface this by saying a lot of episodes in Ghost Game sometimes get chalked up to like a misunderstanding. So like, even though it looked like he ate those people and they turned to sand, it might not be the case. It might just be some big misunderstanding. Maybe they can come back. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't even the same Digitamamon. Who knows? Digitamamon's like, hey, really, there's some like things upstairs I want to show you, and it's like these dolls, and really sees the dolls, and she's like, oh, this is really interesting. But when she's in the room, like I said, there's a bunch of piles of sand and clothes everywhere, and she's like, what is this? Then she looks at the dolls, and the dolls start spilling sand out of themselves too. And then Digitamamon tries to eat her, like straight up tries to eat her. And then you find out that Digitamamon has been eating humans. It wasn't just those two from the beginning. He's been eating a lot of humans. He's been luring humans into the house and eating them because he's hungry, and this is the only thing that's satiating this hunger. He doesn't want real food. He doesn't want Digimon food. He wants to just straight up eat people.
Drinking, I want to chew. I want to chew now. He tripping. No. Yo.
The first time he did it, he said it was an accident, but he keeps doing it. He can't stop. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that Digitamamon is actually fully materialized. There are 3 different forms of Digimon in this show. They are either completely clear, no one can see them. They are semi-transparent, like a hologram, and then they are completely solid, like, you know, any other Digimon show. So Digitamamon's completely solid, which is a hard state to get to. A lot of Digimon have done some really messed up things to try to materialize, and Digitamamon's one of them. So Hiro and Shiro finally catch up to them. They get in this big old fight. It gets pretty epic. By this point, Hiro has Kano Weissmon, which is the ultimate form of Gamamon. Really cool looking Digimon. But they can't crack his shell. Digitamon's shell is like almost impenetrable. All this time, Angoromon is pleading with him, trying to get him to like change, telling him like, don't eat Ruli, don't eat humans, they're our friends. And he's like, no, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat.
I wouldn't mess with him. He been tripping lately.
Finally, a small crack starts forming in Digitamon's shell, and Simba Angoromon specifically, lands the finishing blow. Digitamamon's shell cracks, and Digitamamon dies, returns to Digitama. After this happens, the humans don't come back. The house is still there, quiet, empty, with a broken window, and Angoromon, for the first time in the entire season since he's been introduced, doesn't give us a little poem at the end. It's completely quiet, and I forget who says it, but one of the characters says, and that's how the episode ends. It's just so grim. I know I'm making it a little bit funny in my retelling of it, but I'm telling you right now, it's definitely one of the more unnerving episodes of the show. And just to know that when it ends, that there's no like, you know, like little poem at the end that he gives to try to like bookend it. He's just completely quiet. He had to kill his friend because his friend was eating people. And again, the kill count for this episode is not as, I don't think it's as much as the Arukenimon episode, but just it's a lot of people. And it's really messed up. It's, like I said, it's definitely up there with, like, some of the more messed up episodes. Honorable mention to the last couple episodes that have been coming out. We had a Digimon fall to their death, and die. We had a Digimon who was growing mushrooms off of people and then forcibly ripping them off of their skin and hair while they screamed in agony and then ate the mushrooms. That was the most recent one that came out as we're recording this. That was pretty grisly. But again, that episode's still up there with like some of the worst shit we've seen so far. It's a show I highly recommend. I really, really like it. Again, things get kind of shifted around, and it's hard to keep your focus on like a show that's been running this long when we're in the era of like seasonal anime, and it's hard for even like the top, biggest anime of the season becomes completely irrelevant like 2 months later. So for something like this to stay as relevant as it was when it first dropped is like impossible to ask of people nowadays. But like I said, if you're looking for a new anime, if you're like Digimon, I highly recommend the new season. You don't really need to know anything about the previous seasons. It's really fun. It's really good. It's really well animated too. There hasn't really been an episode that had like shit animation yet, which I'm really surprised about, because 2020, the last season that came out, had some pretty rough episodes, where this season overall, quality-wise, has been really solid the whole way through. Let me know if you are watching Digimon Ghost Game. What are some of your favorite moments from the series? Do you agree with some of the stuff I picked here? Are they the creepiest moments, or do you think there's any creepier moments that have happened? And if you haven't, like I said, check it out. It's on Crunchyroll. It's really good. And I'm going to go. Huge shout out to my lovely patrons. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. Woo. Real quick though, I don't know if I'm gonna add this in the episode, but this month alone has been so rough. I want to apologize for like not uploading as much as I usually do. I try to keep it weekly. I've been horrible with that all year, but this year, like I said in that community post, has been one of the best but also one of the worst years of my life. I've had some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows this year alone. It's been quite the roller coaster, and it's been a lot. And a lot of it's pretty personal, and I don't really want to talk about it. But I just want to let you guys know that I am really happy that you're all still waiting for the next upload. I always appreciate that, and I just wanted to say thank you all for being patient with me, because like I said, it has been a really rough year. So like I said, thank you again. There's still so many ideas I have for this channel, so many video ideas that I want to do, and I hope that I can get back in the swing of things with this video and get that spark again to want to make videos and upload stuff, because like I said, it's been rough. So happy Halloween. Thank you very much for watching, and keep watching Digimon, keep playing, and yeah, thanks again. Peace.